Hello, EOS Nation, and welcome to episode 45 of EOS Hot Sauce. I'm your host, Daniel Keys, back with another spicy one this week. This week we'll be covering EOS Mainnet inflation reduced to 1%, Dapp network value chains, EOS VC investments, Wax AMA, Boss Borda voting, and much more. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. EOS Hot Sauce, by the way, can be enjoyed in all kinds of formats. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to smash the like, hit that bell. If you're listening on SoundCloud, give us a like, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to subscribe to the EOS Nation newsletter at eosnation.io. Let's get to it. EOS Mainnet inflation reduced to 1%. This week, the EOS community rejoiced when block producers approved an MSIG to change the total inflation from 5% to 1%. Not only that, block producer also burned all of the EOS tokens that had accumulated in the EOSIO.saving account since the token burn in early 2019. When the EOS Mainnet was launched in June 2018, the total inflation was set to 5%, which included 1% for block producers and 4% for a worker proposal system. However, the community was never able to reach a consensus on how to spend those worker proposal funds, and the 4% inflation simply accumulated in the EOSIO.savings account. In early 2019, block producers decided to burn the accumulated funds in the EOSIO.saving, but left the inflation rate untouched. Since that rate was hard-coded into the EOSIO software at the time, it would have been problematic for block producers to adjust that setting, essentially forking away from the block.one EOSIO repo. Thankfully, in EOSIO 1.8, block.one implemented a setting for network inflation, which enables block producers to change the inflation rate by submitting a multi-signature transaction, or MSIG, that requires approval by 15 of the top 21 block producers. Since all of the accumulated 4% inflation has been burned, we can now confirm that EOS Mainnet was effectively only 1% inflation since the start of the network. According to some quick research, this makes EOS the network with the lowest inflation rate among all major crypto assets. The EOS Mainnet is processing an ungodly amount of transactions at a very low cost. Brendan Bloomer from block.one went on a nice little tweet storm to celebrate the milestone. Here he is quoted. For those that don't understand how network inflation works, in most public blockchains, new tokens are created and issued to those that operate the network. They are generally sold to pay for network operation, which contributes downward sell pressure on token prices. You can use current inflation rates to roughly calculate the amount of new USD needed just to maintain current prices. Bitcoin, 3.6% or $6.14 billion, Ethereum, 5% or $750 million, EOS, 1% or $40 million. Ethereum miners increased the rewards this January. Token holders had no say in the matter. Finally, he went on to say, EOS network inflation is effectively further reduced with voter rewards. When BPs offer token holders revenue for their vote, it lowers the cost of network operation by passing value back to holders. Identical to mining pools, but the value goes to those who deserve it. Don't forget to visit proxy.eosnation.io to earn your share of voter rewards. Let's dig in a bit more into these inflation numbers and compare some interesting statistics. Here are the EOS Mainnet costs as of February 26, 2020. The 7-day average of operations, there were about 63.9 million per day. Network inflation was 1%. Token supply is 1.017 billion EOS. Token price at the time was $3.56 per EOS. The daily EOS inflation was 27,863 EOS per day. Daily inflation cost, $99,192 per day. Cost per operation was about $0.00152 per operation. That amounts to a daily block production cost on the EOS network of $99,192 per day, compared to Ethereum, which is $3,369,990 per day. Let me go through the rest of the Ethereum breakdown. Again, as of February 26, 2020, there were 670,257 transactions on the Ethereum network on February 25th. Total fees paid that day were 475.9841 Ethereum. The network inflation was about 4.75. The token supply was 109,849,361. Token price, $228.15 US dollars per Ethereum. The daily inflation is 14,295 Ethereum per day. The daily inflation cost, $3,261,404 US dollars. The daily fee cost, $108,595 US dollars. The cost per transaction is $5.02 US dollar per transaction. Cost per operation, $4.80 US dollar per operation. Again, compared to EOS, which was $0.00152 per operation. And again, to recap, the daily block production cost on Ethereum, $3,369,999 US dollars. If you want to see that math broken down a little further, check out the written article on our website at eosnation.io. According to these numbers, the Ethereum network costs about 34 times more to operate than the EOS Mainnet. Even when considering that Ethereum's market cap is 7.6 times larger than EOS, we can still observe the superior efficiency of the EOS Mainnet block production. Furthermore, this week's inflation reduction and token burn is a clear indicator that the incentives between block producers and token holders are extremely well aligned. The network is performing extremely well right now, and the will of the token holders was carried out by block producers they've elected. This is DPoS at its finest. Brendan Bloomer recognized that in a couple tweets. He said, EOS is attacked by competitors and the media outlets they own because EOS aligns network operators with its token holders. This alignment threatens the entities that profit from controlling token holders who have no vote, and those same entities call EOS centralized. Today, the current elected EOS BPs eliminated 80% of network inflation, burnt over $100 million US dollars of tokens, and demonstrated that they are representatives of the community that elect them to give them their power. This is decentralization at its best. Up next, Dapp network value chains. The Dapp network continues to evolve quickly and has consistently added new services for dApps on the network. Their latest offering, LiquidChains, unlocks new value chains for enterprises. By combining the auditability of public blockchains with the reliability and privacy of permissioned networks, LiquidChains offers unprecedented flexibilities for dApps looking to build on blockchain infrastructure. This blockchain-as-a-service solution allows anyone to spin up a customized chain in minutes, connect it to a public blockchain ledger for transparent record keeping if they so choose, and harness the suite of Dapp network services to scale their application even further. These customizable chains can be public or private, permission or permissionless, and can exist for as long or as short as necessary. This allows Dapp developers to choose whichever trustless features best suits their use case. Next up, EOS VC investments. While block.one is working hard to develop the most scalable and flexible blockchain protocol possible, EOS VC, a group of selected international venture capital firms, is vetting promising companies to adopt EOSIO technology. In the last week, we've heard about two new investments. The German-based EOS VC FinLab AG made a 7-digit investment into Agora Innovation and its product IVE.one, a global investment and issuing platform for digital assets on the blockchain. IVE.one core features are global compliant investments, token attached regulation or TAR, security token transaction monitoring, and banking-grade identification. Agora Innovation will use the funds to expand its marketing activities, especially in the Asian and European markets. They will also focus on integration of the EOSIO blockchain protocol, which will allow them to achieve greater flexibility. Agora co-founder and chief product officer Evgeny Matershev was quoted, EOS is becoming a serious competitor to the Ethereum blockchain and is enabling us to cover even more use cases with our product IVE.one, while ensuring the scalability of our solution. The second investment was made by the EOS VC Galaxy Digital, who led a financing round that secured TempoStorm, an esports and gaming entertainment organization, a total of $3.3 million US dollars. The company aims to accelerate the development of its interactive media and games with this new investment, and grow far beyond the confines of traditional esports organization. Next up, EOSIO networks. First, Wax, Ask Me Anything, and Block Arcade. The vibrant crypto-friendly community hosted Wax for an AMA on Telegram this week. The Wax representatives Malcolm, Marty, and Kafer shared tons of great information, including some exciting upcoming plans. Along with their upcoming partnership announcements, the Ethereum bridge is very exciting, and when completed, is likely to bring in a lot of new gamers to the platform. Check out some of the highlights from that AMA in the article on our website at eosnation.io. In more good news for Wax gaming adoption, Block Arcade, a gaming development studio that has been working on the iOS platform, has announced that they will be deploying their first game on Wax. This will be the first time that StackWave is available on a second blockchain, and the team confirmed that the built-in RNG Oracle and the ease of account creation through the Wax Cloud Wallet were some of the most desirable features that attracted Block Arcade to deploy on Wax. Next up, Boss Borda voting and community building in Africa. The Boss network has never shied away from innovation. In fact, they have always embraced it. When it came to redesigning a better DPoS system, the Boss Core team took inspiration from outside the crypto community and looked at academic papers on the Borda account voting mechanism. In the recent and detailed article, Boss Core takes a look at different voting mechanisms, such as quadratic voting and some of the mechanisms used in Ethereum to illustrate the advantages of the Borda account voting mechanism when used to distribute WPS funds. These include more information on what the voter really wants, balance in the decentralization of the system, encourage operators, stabilize backbone teams, generate checks and balances, and increase security and improve community participation. In other news, Boss Core continues to sponsor events that build communities around the world. Last week was the EOSIO Invasions event, and Boss was well represented as Toju Kaka, Boss Community Manager, delivered a keynote speech on the many advantages of building on Boss. Make sure to check out the article for pictures and a video of the event. Next up, BlockBase Sandbox. The BlockBase team has recently released an online sandbox where anyone can test BlockBase's main database querying functionalities without the need to run a full node. This release takes BlockBase one step closer to their mainnet beta version and showcases BlockBase's functionalities to anyone who's interested in using the platform. Try it for free and see how easy it is to use a BlockBase database service without any setup. Next up, decentralized blockchain applications. First, Emanate hype. It seems there are exciting times ahead for Emanate as their tireless efforts of building out the vision of their platform and forging connections in the music industry is producing results. As the team has put in a tweet, the stars have aligned for Emanate, and the team has 5 announcements planned throughout the week. The first piece of news already broke on Sunday as they announced that Gavin Perry, ex-Vice President of Digital and Business Development for Sony Music Entertainment APAC, joined the team. In his 20 years of experience, he's seen the music industry changing a lot, and based on his knowledge, he recognizes the huge potential of Emanate. He was quoted speaking at Spikes Asia. In the last 6 months, I have been traveling the world, looking at what is about to happen in the music industry. The work the Emanate team have done over the last 2 years is extremely forward-thinking. The fact that artists on Emanate are already securing their rights on-chain to get paid transparently and instantly is actually mind-blowing. Not many people realize yet just how powerful this will be in the near future. A big reason for him to join Emanate was related to a concept that Emanate team has been working on in stealth mode over the last months. It was finally introduced as Emanate Distro in the second announcement on Monday. Utilizing Emanate Distro, musicians that choose to publish their work via Emanate will be able to collect revenue from all the major global digital streaming platforms, such as Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, Amazon, Apple Music, TikTok, and more. This bridge would expand the reach of Emanate to 1 billion streaming users globally who generate a projected revenue of over $5 billion in 2020. While there are many distribution services for musicians to pick from, Emanate has several unique features that give them a competitive edge and are made possible through the integration of EOSIO technology. These features are registration of an artist's intellectual property on-chain before release, ability to share revenue, sell a percentage of ownership rights, or transfer them, trustless global Emanate smart collaborations, permissionless derivative works, instant cash out, instant release, and artist profile and fan engagement. Emanate Distro will already be open for business this month, with limited space for selected users. The full rollout for all Emanate users is planned for Q2 2020. As we currently see in many other industries, blockchain-based applications are not just idealistic theories anymore, but are built-out products that provide real alternatives to existing structures. Emanate is a great example for this development in the music business, as they are making a big step to bring the benefits of decentralization to a pop culture industry. If you haven't experienced the technical innovation or musical talent happening on Emanate, visit Ambrose Zaldua's profile, an artist who already scored in 2 of Emanate's remix competitions and was featured by Emanate in a special interview just a couple days ago. Next up, Prospectors, built on EOSIO. With continued popularity, the MMO economic strategy game Prospectors became a role model for EOSIO blockchain games, reaching across 2 game maps, the Wild West and the Yukon, and being hosted on 2 EOSIO blockchains, EOS and Wax. Prospectors showcases the interconnectivity of EOSIO blockchains. Plenty of reasons for block.one to invite the Prospectors team for an interview feature in the Built on EOSIO series. In the interview, you'll get a great introduction to the various aspects of the gameplay, insights into the game production process, and also what motivated and inspired the team to build a real-time game that seemingly has endless opportunities, just like in real life. Following the roadmap for 2020, Prospectors has a big update coming up. And last week, yet another detail has been revealed. While at the beginning of the game, most jobs and activities were quite basic and didn't require much education, Now the in-game society progresses and users can choose several new and more sophisticated career options for their in-game characters. After the introduction of a banking system, which we covered in the EOS Hot Sauce number 43, we learned that the next building about to appear will be the Prospectors State University, where characters can obtain a diploma and become trained professionals with higher qualifications. Learn more about the different diplomas and further details in the Prospectors University announcement. Next up, DAppAccounts. There are many upsides for applications through decentralization and the integration of blockchain technology, but blockchain accounts, and especially the key management aspects, is perceived by most people as more complicated than the user login and registration process of centralized applications. We've discussed this topic here frequently, as there is much innovation happening to improve the user experience. This week, we're happy to share DAppAccounts, a service made for users, but also for developers to easily integrate into their products and extend their reach to non-crypto savvy users. Chuck McDonald shared a great infographic about the DAppAccounts on Twitter. Features of DAppAccounts are no keys, passphrase, or password management, non-custodial accounts with encrypted and locally stored keys on your device, own and transfer tokens, issue and claim airdrops and rewards, resource and token lending and voting for proxies and staking pools, multi-device access via two-factor authentication, and account recovery via email. Up next, collaborations, partnerships, and interoperability. PUML, MPT, and BOID launch activities on EOS Discussions. Since the release of Novosphere's EOS Discussions 2.0, there's much more activity happening on the platform, and we love to see all the cooperation between projects. Here are some examples. A few weeks back, the Metal Packaging Token, or MPT, announced a partnership with Singapore Estes Engineering and proudly presented its prototype of the MPT deposits point. To create a smooth user experience, MPT will integrate Novosphere's UID into their deposit machine and therefore invites their community to join the MPT channel of EOS Discussions. In the most recent Atmos podcast, another media channel by Novosphere, we learned about what's new with PUML. We first discovered the PUML project here on EOS Hot Sauce number 12, and since then the team has been working hard, resulting in the imminent launch of their iOS application in March. The PUML fitness application motivates users to lead a fit and healthy life via challenges and a point reward system, while also giving them the opportunity to collect data with smart devices like the Apple Watch, which optionally can be sold to interested parties like insurance companies. We're definitely looking forward to trying out PUML while working on our Beachbody for the summer of 2020. Another cooperative activity on EOS Discussions is the BOID Riddle Run, happening from the 25th of February till the 2nd of March. Following the daily posted riddles, this contest allows users to convert their brainpower to BOID tokens. Every day, the first correct answer wins 10,000 BOID tokens, while most creative answer can win 5,000. To join the BOID Riddle Run fun, you have to sign up for discussions and subscribe to the BOID tag, enter your answer to the riddle of the day, posted at random times each day, to the pinned post. You may submit up to 2 entries, only the first 2 will be valid, and winners will be rewarded at the beginning of the next riddle. Finally, the vibrant EOSIO community. Our Chief Community Officer, Stéphane Bisson, sat down with MaxDapp for an hour-long chat on a variety of popular EOS topics such as EOSIO 2.0, bonds on EOS, exchanges, cost of resources, voice hype, and more. Check that out on YouTube, which we've linked to from our website. And that's all for this week's episode of EOS Hot Sauce. EOS Nation is a top 21 block producer on the EOS public network. We earn inflation rewards based on the percentage of tokens staked towards us. Those rewards are reinvested into EOSIO community, tools, and infrastructure. Help grow the ecosystem by staking your vote to EOS Nation FTW for BP or proxying to Proxy4Nation. Remember, we never accept compensation in exchange for featuring projects in EOS Hot Sauce. That means if a project is included in the EOS Hot Sauce, it's because we believe that project brings value to the EOSIO ecosystem, and we want our community to know about it. Are you building an interesting project on EOSIO? We want to hear from you. Reach out to us on social media or email info@eosnation.io. Thanks for supporting EOS Nation for listening to this week's episode of EOS Hot Sauce. Want more spicy updates? Check out our website at eosnation.io. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, smash that like, smash that bell, give us that 5-star rating on your favorite podcast player, and subscribe to the newsletter at eosnation.io. Once again, I'm your host, Daniel Keys, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, let's keep it spicy.